Aliosa Asanovic has set his target on winning this year's Cosafa Cup tournament. And speaking at the training session, the coach said that players will not be spectators at this year's competition, but will aim to win the tournament. We have more in this report.
They double up their efforts in training as they work towards reviving Zambia's hopes of lifting its 60th Cosafa Cup trophy. Chipolo Polo coach Aliosa Asanovic has intensified preparations for his 23-man squad ahead of the 2022 Senior Cosafa Championship that starts on July 5th, 2022 in Durban, South Africa. At Asanovic's disposal is a squad comprising youthful and some experienced local players.
Yes, you know, when I started the camp, I'm so happy about that. The guys is happy to come here and enjoying to prepare for the Cosafa, and we are just waiting, you know, the start to competitions. No, you know that we want to see the young guys. You know, it is a future for the Zambians teams, a future for the Zambian clubs. You know, I want to see the talent of the guys.
And for this year's edition, Zambia will enter the competition in the quarter-final stage as they will await winners of Group A, comprising Angola, Seychelles, Comoros, and Botswana.
You know that we are waiting because you know we don't know yet exactly the opponents, but we must be ready for any opponent. Always, you know, if you go to somewhere to competition, you're thinking about the win, of course.
After the Cosafa Cup, the locals will shift focus to the qualifiers for the 2023 African Nations Championship CHAN tournament, where they will face Mozambique in a two-legged affair. Chan Sakunda, ZNBC Sport, Lusaka.
Now this afternoon, to help me deliberate more on the Chipolo Polo's preparation for the Cosafa tournament, I have with me Coach Nebart. Welcome to this interview.
Thank you very much.
It's great to have you. So first things first, what do you make of the coach's aim to win this particular year's Cosafa edition?
His aim is to win the trophy, to come with a trophy from South Africa. But the team combination is what matters. Because at the end of the day, everybody claims to be a champion until you are defeated in the ground or until you win in the ground. So the actual battle is on the ground. Now, when you look at our Zambian national team, you find that the selection maybe is not balanced. But we have to look at, is the coach inculcating his philosophy into the local coaches? Because this is not about the whole coach alone. The period that the coach has with the players is the short period. So the players have to understand his philosophy. But if the coach can take his philosophy into the local coaches, then the local coaches will be, every time, will be inculcating into the players. Therefore, when choosing the players, it will be easy for the coach to choose the players.
Okay, Coach, the last time Zambia did put up quite a show of a performance at the Cosafa was in 2019 when they emerged victorious, and we have seen some standards drop. But what should be done to improve on local football as they head to the Cosafa tournament?
I think the local football needs proper preparation, because when you look at local football now, what we are lacking is, I think we have a lot of players that are there, but we need coaches that are going to come in and help the national team coach. And this, what I mean is, I think we need fair selection, because what we have seen now is like, it's business as usual. We look at the situation where, yes, we know that we really want to expose the players, but we have players that have done well, that I feel that they should have been called to the national team. For example, one of the players that I feel that it could have been called is Nebart Phiri from Muza, who has scored 16 goals in the Eden League, but is not there on the list. And we find that the Eden League is one of the strongest leagues in Zambia, because we saw that NAPSA emerged as Absa Cup winners. And the NAPSA played in the Eden League, and they were able to beat Red Arrows. So meaning that Muza, for that matter, they were the first team to qualify to the Premier League in the Eden League. So we can see that there's a lot of competition. So the coach has to come up with different ways of identifying and qualifying players. Why should I be at the national team? Why should the player be called at the national team? To be called at the national team, it's because you have worked hard at the local league. And you cannot just call everybody. Let
me just hold your thoughts there. Yes. We take a look at the 23-man squad that has been called. You're talking about competition. In the goalkeeping department, we have Serio Chibwe, Lawrence Mulenga, and Charles Kalumba. What do you make of the choice that Aliosa went for there?
Okay, I think on the goalkeeping side, I have no problems because we see that these teams that we have, where the goalkeepers have come from, are the teams where they conceded less goals. So we're assuming that their defense and their goalkeeping was very good. So the goalkeepers, we have no problems with them. I think. Yes. Okay,
now let's take a look at the defenders. We have Prosper Chiluya, just a confirmed signee from, for Red Arrows. From Kafiwa Celtics, rather, Alan Kapila, Benedict Chepeshi, Shemi Maembe, Luka Banda, Dominic Chanda, as well as Warren Kunda.
Yeah, on the defense, I think he has brought up a defense that comprises of 3 players from Red Arrows. And we look at it like maybe it is going to be a team where there will be teamwork because coordination should be seen in the Red Arrows players already 3. And these other players that are coming from teams like Zesco. And we see this to be a very competitive defense, but we have to know that this defense was exposed by Comoros, apart from having our foreign-based Zambian player who is playing in Scotland. But all in all, we can see that Chepesh there has some little bit of errors that he has to correct, and we hope that in this Cosafa tournament is going to be serious and is going to be committed to the game.
Well, the midfield is one particular area where we see the coach having headaches. It's not just with the preparations for the Cosafa. We have had the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers as well, but we have Kelvin Kapumbu just joining Zesco United from Zanako Football Club, Nebart Phiri from Red Arrows, Prince Mumba, Cabo Warriors, Patrick Gondwe, Harrison Chisala, both coming from Nkana. We've got Kelvin Mulanga Kampamba from Zesco United, as well as Spencer Sautu, Albert Kangwanda, Isaac Sam Jompa of Albert Kangwanda rather, and Abraham Siankombo of Zanako.
Yes, in the midfield, I think we see a combination of different players come from different teams, but I think the best midfield that I've seen in the local league is coming from Power Dynamos, because you find that Power Dynamos are good in the midfield, although they are not good at finishing. So I haven't seen any player from Power Dynamos, which is a solid side for me as a coach, and I just hope that these that are there, they are going to blend and going to make Zambia proud.
Okay, and looking at the striking force, we have young Jimmy Mkea coming from Napsa Stars, Ricky Banda, the MTN Super League top scorer there, Enoch Sakala Jr. from Zesco United, and Joshua Mtale from Power Dynamos.
All right. In the striking force, in the striking force, I believe that we have this issue of Jim Mkea, Ricky Banda, and Enoch Sagara Jr., Joshua Mtale. But I believe that we should have been having Nebart Phiri here, who is supposed to be a top scorer in the Eden League.
And why would you pick on Phiri per se?
Because he's a top scorer in the Eden National League, so he deserves it. He worked hard for it. You know, he scored more goals. And, you know, to score a goal is not easy. But we still see Enoch Sagara from Zesco, which I don't feel like he deserves it to be here. So, but the coach knows why he got him and why he left out Nebart Phiri. Thank you.
Well, the Cosafa tournament, as we know, will start from the 5th of July to the 17th, and Zambia are on by, coach. They will be entering the phase of the competition in the quarterfinals, and they will await to see who they will face from Group A, that is Angola, Botswana, Seychelles, and Comoros. Just what do you make of the group composition there?
The group composition is very stiff, because we still have got Angola, Botswana, Comoros, and Seychelles. But the most big things that we are going to see in this group is Comoros might emerge as winners, because when you look at the way Comoros has been playing, it has really been great. I know people are saying that Comoros has got foreign-based players at the AFCON level, but you know, the philosophy of the coach is what matters to the players. So if they have got good local players and that philosophy has been blended into the local league, it means that the Comoros might emerge as winners, because this is going to be talking a lot about coordination in the local team that they are going to make.
And at this year's competition, the guest nation does happen to be Senegal, who are the current holders of the Africa Cup of Nations title. What sort of competition do you feel they will bring? And perhaps could we say that the Cosafa title will be headed to West Africa, or maybe Southern African teams have what it takes to contend?
At the moment, I'm still giving Senegal 10 out of 10 to get the to get the Cosafa Cup, because when I look at Cisse has branded this team, and Cisse has been a long-serving coach in the Senegalese team, and we look at it like Cisse has now been able to tell the whole country, the whole league, about how he wants the players to be trained, and I believe that Senegal still comes in with as a strong contender to lift the Cosafa Cup.
Well, thank you very much for having spared time to share your thoughts with regards to Zambia's preparations for the Cosafa